Okay guys, on to page 6, and we're going to first make this the exact size, and I'm going to cut off my little tab piece up here because you may not have that, and I'm trying to make sure that this goes just with things that you will have. Okay, now let's see, I'm going to cut at my mark. Alright, so now I am going to cut this, leaving about an inch, I think. Yeah, about an inch from the bottom. And I'm going to make a mark where that's at. You know, give or take, it doesn't have to be an exact. Wherever you feel comfortable with. Okay. And then I'm going to let's see. I'm going to put that mark on a line here and make sure. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch from this line. Okay. Give or take. I wasn't quite a 1/2 inch, but that's okay. I'm going to fold this. Thicker paper, so it may need a little bit. Okay, so that is going to go on the top. And let me see. I probably got it about 1/8 of an inch, but you know what? I'm going to cut this about 1/4 of an inch shorter because I don't want it to interfere. And that way I can kind of center it just a little bit more. So about let's see. Well, let me give you the measurement here. This is 7, and basically it's 7 3/4, and I'm going to make it 7 1/2, and that will give me 1/4 of an inch on both sides. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll be good. All right. And I'm going to want to cut this extra piece that I have that I cut off from this. And I'm going to want to make sure that that is the same size. So make sure you make a mark or whatever you need to do to make sure that it's the same length. Okay, so got that there. Now I'm going to want, what am I sitting on? Oh, now I am going to want the bottom part of this, because it's going to be a pocket. And I that'll work pretty well. Let's see, let me make sure this is at the top. So I am overlapping this piece about 1 inch. So this is about 2 inches up. And I'm going to make a mark. I'm going to put this square in my get the mark lined up. It just so happens to line up at the 4 5/8 line. So I'm scoring there. And I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch from that line, okay? Alright, I still have this left. Okay, so there's my bottom. Now I'm going to take this and let me see what I have, bits and pieces here. And this is a little shorter, but it will work. Doesn't overlap enough. I think I know what I want to do with this though. Okay. Let's see, I need these to be the same height. I'm going to mark one of them and cut both of them at the same time. So I'm looking for it to be the exact same height from top to bottom. And I'm going to put a little mark right where I want to cut. And I'm going to slide this one in and cut it as well, so they're going to both be the same length. Okay, now just make sure that I am squared off here. And I know that this piece is longer because this piece is 4 1/8 and this piece is 3 5/8, and they're both about 5 inches. This is about 5 inches. All right, so now I am going to give myself a 1/2 inch on both of these pieces. And I'm going to make flaps. Oops. You do that one again. I didn't get it quite deep enough. There we go. Okay, so now I have my top, my bottom, and 2 side pieces. One is longer than the other, and we'll figure out what we're going to do with that, and that leaves me with approximately 1 inch in between the two of them, okay? So we'll figure out what we're going to do with that. It'll be interesting. That will be interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and figure out what paper we're going to use before we start doing all this stuff. Okay. Now I think I'm going to use this page. this page. I like this page. And I've been dying to use this. Oops, do I have one on? Yes, got one cut. Pulled off already. Yay! So I think the three of these look pretty nice together. And it gives me some nice contrast. And let's see, is there anything... anything that I'm gonna like with these little fellas? Huh. Ha ha ha. Well, I'd like to have something, a little bit of the green in it, so that of course, I'll have cards that will have green in them. You know, so something like this where I will have some green in it. So, not too worried about that at the moment. At the moment, yeah, pretty much everything I've got. No? Okay. Alrighty. So, base. You know, the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm thinking I need to find something that's going to meld these two together instead of incorporating. So let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. Well, I have yet to use this. It's got a lot of white, which has here. It's got a lot of gold, which has here, and then it's got the blue. So maybe instead of this piece, I'll do this piece. Then the third color. This would also be something that would work, but since I've already used this, I'm saving this one for my journal. Alright. Or my front cover. Probably not, because it's right in front. So anyway, so here is this, which helps maybe mesh the two of these, because there's the whites and there's the golds. A little bit better, I think, anyway. Alright. Okay, so first, the base. And I think we'll do this as the base. So I'm just going to line this up the way I want it to be. Take my pencil and make marks on it. With the foiled ones, you have to kind of really make a pretty good mark. Let me get the little piece off of here. Okay, now where are my marks? There's one, and there's one. Alright, so there's our base. So I'm going to go ahead and move the book now. And I'm going to build everything on this base. Let me first, though, go ahead and do this, because I won't be able to after I build out. I know this is very fun to watch me do this. Woohoo! But at least I'm remembering to do it. I think I've been doing pretty well the last couple of... Oh, there's I don't know if you can hear it or not, but they're mowing our yard outside, so sorry if there's noises. And my parents are downstairs watching TV. Okay, not too much of that's going to get seen anyway. However, okay, now we're going to glue this on, so this is the top, this is the folded down part. We're going to open the flap and we're going to glue to the inside, put the glue on here. And this is a little smaller, so you just want to center it out. Well, didn't quite get that squared off. Let's do this way. My glue is going to dry. Okay, let's see if that was fast enough. Certainly feels like it's sticking. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to glue these down on top of here. But first I need to figure out what this base is going to be, because I'll glue these down on top of the base and then glue the base onto here. So then you're not seeing any of the working flaps. So I think I'm going to use this as the base. Okay, again, line it up just the way you're going to want to see it with the amount of trim of the brown or whatever base you're using, whatever color base you're using. I'm going to cut this strip off, and then I'm going to cut this, and I'm cutting this, going to cut it off this way instead of this way because the paper needs to lay this way. So when you're having patterns and you're working with a more of a horizontal book, make sure you're cutting the way that's going to leave the most use. Okay? Hopefully that made sense to you. Oops. Okay, let's get this cut off. And then we're going to So there we go. There's that looking all pretty. Let me go ahead and get this all done here. I hope everybody's been having a nice summer. I think the kids are already back to school here in Florida. Some of them anyway. I think the next couple weeks everybody's getting their first days in. And that will certainly help cut down on the traffic again. And the stores won't be quite as crazy. But I remember having my kids home was always a lot of fun. And it was a nice break, not having to get up and do the same routine over and over and over again. Yes, very nice break. Okay, so now I'm going to work on this one. Get those little pieces off of here. All right. Now I want the larger one to be on the left. Now this is going to be a little bigger than the base, which is fine because I've got it the same size as the flap, and I'm good with that. Okay, now I was thinking I was going to do a little different type closure with this. Okay, I think I need to go ahead and glue these down first. And let's see. Let me go ahead, put this aside. Let me go ahead and get these covered with this. Again, line these up the way you want them to look. And make your mark. Now this is multi, so it doesn't really matter what you cut first. I'm also going to cut my little tab off of it. Okay, now where to put my marks? There's that one. And that's the only one I made so far. Okay. Okay, now, since these are both the same length, I just cut it once across here and it'll do both of these. So, there's that one. Which I did already have marked. I forgot I did that. Okay. There's that. Let me erase my little pencil marks. Okay. Good. Boy, this thing is just falling apart. And it's amazing. I don't remember them falling apart quite so quickly. Of course, I also think we only used them as, I don't think we were doing this with it right off the bat, but we could have. It's been years since Timmy has put these things out. And even though crafting has changed so much, everybody still uses his products. I mean, it's just amazing how versatile his products are. Okay, now I also need to do the back, and this is where the trick is going to be. So I want to have this let me get this again. Okay. Put this here. Put this here. Line this up a little better. Okay. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, okay. However, this is not actually large enough to do this right. So I need, okay, what I'm doing is I'm going to cut a piece of this that is going to be come in about an inch from the second piece. So it's going to start from here and go all the way to go past this flap, the second flap, by about an inch. Say no less than an inch, but at least, you know, at least an inch. So you can do it as far as you want, but at least an inch. Then I'm going to score right there. Get my scoreboard out again. I'm just gonna get close here. I'm gonna score. Now be careful with foiled paper. It's a little different than even the you know, in the same stuff. It's a little different. Okay. And then I'm going to cut a ½ inch off. Okay. Alright, and then I also want it to be the length of the brown. So let me get that. The full length of the brown. Make my mark. Oh, I put my scoreboard on the wrong side because I have to have it. Yeah, I put my score on the wrong side, so I'm just going to smush it back out. Just do your best at smushing it back out on a hard surface. And you'll still see it, but not bad. Not bad. I need the score to be on this side. So if you're going to have paper that's going to be right or left, up or down, think about that before you do the score, like I didn't do. Okay. There we go. So there's that. Now, this is also going to rest on this. Is that the same? No, it's centered. Centered. There we go. Is that a pencil mark? I think it is. Yes, it is. Okay, so that came off. Okay. So, let me think this through here. Put this off so we're not... Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this part down. And let me give you, this is about 5 1/8 by 5 inches. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down, and then we will do something with the back here. No, I didn't put my pin. Didn't put my pin in the glue. Dag nabbit. Okay. Okay, there we go. Make sure nothing eked out this side, and we're good there. Okay, so there's that, and now we'll place this on top of that. And these are the same size, so it's just going to line right up and fold over the top. Sure nothing eked out. All right. And we can go ahead and put these on. They've been inked and edged. Oh, I didn't do this one. You guys were yelling at me and I didn't hear you. You guys were yelling at me and I didn't hear you. Alright, let's see. At least it's not that hard to get to. And this one, I'm also going to do this, so that when it... Oh yeah, I wish I would have done this. Yeah. Okay, so there's that. and a little bit of gold. Not worried too much about these pages that have a lot of gold on them. All right. Get this on here. Okay, so here's this side done. Now we're just going to do the same thing on this side. Center this. Make sure we're even here, and we are. Good. Decorate. Get this on here. There we go. Alrighty. I'm trying to think of things that would look like you would find them maybe in the Far East, somewhere in an Oriental market or something. Okay, so now my plan is to glue this down in the center, and then this will pop off. This will pop off. Really hard paper, so, and then this will open up and this will stay glued on there, and it won't be that hard because I won't be pushing. I wonder, I don't think there's anything else that I like better. That's not wide enough. I got plans for that one. I don't like that. I don't think that'll get used. Maybe in the journal. There were a couple of words. There's lucky, there's that one, and love. But I don't think the love is wide enough. Maybe, and this might be easier. I do love right in the center, and then that'll hold on there and there. Huh. Well, it's still pretty hard, but I think it's easier than this one. And I don't want the green. I don't think I want the green. Where's, see, totally wrong green, I think. Yeah, okay. So we'll do the love. All right, now this actually is sticky backed, and I am going to put powder on there to take that sticky back off. A little bit more powder, because I don't want it sticking. So anything that's sticky back and you don't want it to be sticky, you don't want to glue to the backing that's on these, because it comes off really easy. So you glue this backing down and this can just peel away. So you need to put the powder on there and make the sticky go away, and then rub that powder off as best you can. This is a dried up baby wipe. Just, okay, so now it's pretty cleaned off. Okay. Now I'm going to put glue all up the centers. And I'm not going to put it too far into anything. I'm just gluing the center down. This will spread when I push it down on the paper. So I'll hold this for a few minutes, for moments, not minutes. Won't bore you with that. And then I'm going to glue this on top of this. Oh, I got a little bit of glue coming out. Where's my, a little bit of scissors right there. Lift that glue away. It dries clear, but I still, you know, if I've got a glob coming out, I prefer to be able to just get that out of the way. And the last thing you want to do is like spread it all over the place. So a little bit too much up top. Alright, now I'm not going to try and mess with that right at the moment. I'm just going to glue this down. Oh, my mom's sharpening pencils down there. You want to make sure that you're getting all of the edges. My mother got a coloring book a while back, and she's coloring pages. She loves doing that. She's quite the artist. She just, she's 92, so that she can only do so much anymore. Now this is going to line up perfectly onto the brown. Okay. Make sure it's not up over the edge. And let's give it a nice burnish. Alright. There we go. I think that's gonna be nice. Okay, so now we have the flap that opens up, and we've got this flap and this flap, and it will get a little easier. And then we've got this flap, and I'll decorate this and of course the inside of these, and you're just gonna slide that back under there and slide that back under there. Okay, now for the bottom flap. And the bottom flap, I think I am going to give it a second scoring. So I have it scored at a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to also score it 1/8 inch from that. So I have a little space. It's a little more than 1/8 inch, but if you get 1/8 inch, that's fine. So that I'll have a little space for all of this bulk to actually fit in to this flap. The 1/8 of an inches are hard. Just take your time. And you want to make sure that your flap lines up at the top and at the bottom. And I just usually finger press that second 1/8 of an inch. I don't give it the death squeeze there. All right. Okay. Then we're going to have this on the back here. Yeah, that's going to work out nicely. And that's going to go over the top of all of this. You know, it'll flap over the top of all of this. Is that what my plan is? Well, if I flap over the top, I put little things down here. Okay, I am going to think on this for a second and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've inked this up so you guys wouldn't have to sit there and watch me do it, and so we still have this little thing to figure out. I did want to frame this piece with this. And let's see, is that going to give me... Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that it was going to fit onto this with, yet again, the border of the chocolate brown. So that was my concern with checking if that was going to work. Let me find my mark here. Alright, now okay. Yes. Yes, I'm going to like that very much. So, I'm just going to make a mark where I want to cut this. Alright. Okay, let's ink this up. Okay. I also took a piece of scrap paper and I centered it on some of the gold washi tape. I did put a little squiggle of glue down just to make sure it wasn't going to come off, and then I burnished it. It didn't get all the squiggles out of the glue, however that's going to be covered, so I wasn't that worried about it. Let me go ahead. So I have this, and I did cut this the length that I wanted it. And then I have these little pieces that I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, but I still have not figured out. Maybe I'm just going to lay this. Okay, so I could lay this just underneath this. Well, I don't think I like that very much. I think I do like it going over. I'm just not sure exactly how I'm going to, and I know you guys are all yelling at me, do this, do this. Don't want to use magnets. So, well, let's see. No, I can't fit anything else under these that would be easy to do. So that's not a choice. I was really not wanting to. I suppose I could just do little flippies right here, and that would hold them closed. So let me get a couple of those. Let me get a couple of those. There's those little gold ones. And okay, some gold ones are in here. There's one and two. The ones I picked out are kind of a brushed gold, so they're not very shiny. But yet the little tab parts are fairly shiny, but I think this will work. Okay, oops, forgot to put those in, and that fell out. Dad burn it. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and glue these items down. Alright. And I'm going to, I made the paper a little thinner. Let me get the edges. I need to make sure those stay nice and firm. And set that right in the center. Okay, looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take, let me find it. I am pressing the piece of the tape that was larger than the strip. So I don't know if you can, I don't know what that is, little glue. But I don't know if you can see that or not. But it's got a little ridge on it. And I just don't know if you can see that or not, right along where my finger is. There's just a little ridge now. So that's kind of cool. Alright, going to glue this back flap up to the first score line, but not over the score line. And this is going around the back of my base mat. And remember, we're lining it up with the brown. I'm just pulling it forward so that I can make sure that I've got it in a good spot. There we go. Okay. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and get these two glued down. And I'm trying not to rub too much on the ends because I'll get all of that gold off of there because it's not dry yet. It is not dry yet. Yeah, so far we're in real time on this little piece here. Oops. Let's see, so there we go. All right. Very good. Now, let's go ahead and take these puppies out of here and get a pokey tool. And I'm going to want this to come down right in this area. And this way it's also going to be out of the way, so if you want to put a picture. So I'm going to make a mark right there. Oh, I lost my mark. There it is. Up a little higher than I thought. Okay, so there's that one. Go ahead and And this is another reason I did not cover the back of these, because I didn't know what I was doing for a closure yet. So, you know, when you don't know what you're wanting to do, think of all the possible options. I didn't know whether I was going to do a magnet. I didn't really want to do a magnet, but I figured, you know, if I was going to do a magnet, I would need to be able to put it back here and, you know, leave it covered. So, there we go. I probably could have raised that up just a little bit. But if this stays down like it's supposed to, it'll be just fine. Alright. Move it in just a little bit. Poke me hole. Alrighty. Oops. Okay. Let me here, here, there, and there. I think that's a really pretty page. Okay, now the only thing I've got left to do is just the inside flaps and the inside of all these other things. So the inside here, inside, inside, and the inside. Okay, so let's see. Huh. I think I'm going to do the red. Let's see, do I have enough? Oh, I've got plenty. Got plenty. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the red. Make my mark. Pencil, make my mark, and do this side. Remember, these are two different widths. They're not the same. So yours, you can make them the same totally if you want to. I just kind of had these two and decided to go with it. Just go with it. Yeah. Alright, then I want to do this as well for okay, my mark there. Oh shoot, come on. And mark there. Okay. Alright, let's see what we got here. There we go. Okay, and then I need the inside of this one. Which I think I'm still going to use, or I guess I could. No, I think I'm still going to use this. Okay, so there. And then this, I'm going to use the green. And I think I want to use the crane. So I have that used. Huh. Why is that not coming out nicely? Is this... Let me see. No, it's... Okay, let me check that, see if this paper's straight. And it is not. Oh yeah, it is way off. Okay, well I thought I was going crazy. Thought I was going crazy. Okay. Just was able to keep the crane on there. So now, oh yes, that's much better. Thought I was going crazy. Okay. Mark. And mark. Okay. Well, that takes care of all of that. Now all I'm going to do is ink everything up. I still have to cut this one, but I'm going to ink everything up and put it all together, attach it, and we'll go to the next page. Alright guys. Okay, and because this is a larger and a thicker page, and it's going, well, let me show you. I think you can see this page is bowing. Yeah, it's coming in this way. I want to straighten that out a little bit. So this page is what's going on the back of that one, and I think it will, because of the build and everything, I think it will help straighten that out a little bit. So I am putting score tape all the way around the perimeter, and then 2 or 3 down the center, and then I am also try and keep your fingers off of it like I just didn't. This is just, and if you don't have tape, don't worry about it. Just use a good amount of glue. I'm going to use glue as well. Just to make sure that you're really going to help straighten out this other piece here. Okay, now I'm just putting glue down where I don't have any score tape. All right, top. Open my book up. Okay. Now I'm going to take this off. And this backing is the same size, I believe. Is it the same size? No, I didn't make it the same size. I made it so it would there we go, so that it would mat the page. And you can either do that, or let's see, you can either try and make it where it will mat the page, or you can cut it to the full length. But some pages I do one way and some pages I do another. It just depends. Okay. And if you don't have these little tabby dealios that I've got here, you can make them out of chipboard. You can make them out of a lot of different things. You just look and see what you have in your stash. But like the cute little chipboard pieces, flowers that rotate around, anything like that. So now let me see if it helped straighten this page out. Oh yes, much nicer. Much nicer. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to go to page 7. And another piece of brown paper. I'm going to cut this off. And I've got quite a bit I want to do with this brown piece of paper here. Let me think now. I want to make a big pocket, a couple of flaps, and then something that comes around from the big pocket. Okay, okay. All right, and honestly, I've got to clean off my cutter over there before I can use it, so I'm going to hold you guys. Be right back.